We're joined live now from Cambodia by Virak Ou, president of the Phnom Penh-based public policy think tank Future Forum. Welcome to the program. So put simply then, how do you assess the significance of this fresh violence?
Well, it seems to be happening out of nowhere, but certainly the tension that has been simmering over the past 4 or 5 months since the initial 5 days war has always been there. The tension has never been completely died down. There's a lot of wars or rhetorics. Both sides has been pointing fingers, making various accusations, but certainly both countries becoming far more nationalistic domestically. There's a lot of internal domestic politics, and I fear that again a lot of these border tensions and conflicts stem again from domestic politics, and so in that regards, I'm not completely surprised, although we are very concerned and saddened. From the look of this, it appears that the situation could get worse, and the fighting could last longer than even the previous 5-day war, and it could even get deeper. And I think there's a lot of signs that the tensions will probably not going to go away anytime soon, unless something significant, unless something miraculous almost is happening within the next 12 hours or so.
Well, indeed, a previous cessation of fighting had been brokered in part by the US, China and Malaysia. How does that play into the situation now?
Well, that's the involvement of Donald Trump, of President Donald Trump of the U.S., was the key factor in bringing about the cessation, the immediate cessation of fighting, particularly when Donald Trump was pretty adamant and pretty direct in using the trade negotiation, the trade talks back then with both countries, including with Malaysia as well as the ASEAN chair, that trade will hinge on both sides coming to the table and agree to the ceasefire. Now that was the major factor in bringing about cessation, and what has kept the fighting from going at it again, from both sides, from going at it again. It was the Trump factor. Recently, there was already another almost skirmish, which then the U.S. stepped in, threatens to renew discussions on the trade framework, particularly with Thailand, where then Thailand backed down, and the situation's calm. And as you can see, it calmed briefly. But as I said, I think the situation now will probably not going to happen, where unless Trump significantly makes some either further threats or imposed other harsh sanctions on either side, or whether it's Thailand or Cambodia, I fear that the situations will not ease within the next 1 or 2 days, and I fear that the intention here it seems to be clear now. I would be seen as biased if you look at what I'm going to say, but comments has been made by the Thai military about reclaiming, for example, the Takwai temples, which we call Takrabai. Obviously, there's multiple times when the Thai military said they need more times to finish the job. So from then on, I had made calls, many calls, that I think the Thai side will find any possible ways to try to justify finishing the job, which means occupying all of these disputed zones and the disputed temples, particularly the Kwai and the surrounding areas of Previa Temple. And so because of that, I'm not completely surprised. I'm just waiting for the right flashpoint or the right reasons for the fighting to start again, and it just happened now. Given the politics, the floodings and the handlings of the prime minister of the flooding situations in southern Thailand, Cambodian, and certainly facing our own economic issues as well, and so given all of that, I fear that again the tensions were not going to die down anytime soon. Again, we're probably going to look toward the U.S. to come and rescue Cambodia again, or to come at least put the halt to the fighting, or at least prevent it from escalating to something deeper, something bigger. The situations now, if you look at the global, the international rule-based order, It's fair to say, I think this fighting along the border further indicating that the international rule-based order that we have witnessed over since the collapse of the Cold War, that seems to be giving ways to military powers and hard powers and real politics. And now you have a situation where I think Trump's intervention might be a possibility, but also China is actually sitting there and waiting, and their intervention will also be a possibility. Now the fear is, if these global superpowers actually weighing for influence, when two smaller states within a hot spot, a hot zone, as in the case of Southeast Asia, the fear is then the proxies, the tensions between the superpowers that will play out through proxies, and that's what we had witnessed over the past 60, 70 years, in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, up until the 1990s, and something that Cambodian people mostly understand full well, the atrocities and the implications, the huge implications from such real politics, and I lived through that as well. So I do fear that the situations could get out of control. It could get worse. I call on all the international communities to actually try to intervene. The conflict is not a bilateral conflict. We need to internationalize this, and the ASEANs need to do a better job, particularly not just ASEAN chair, but other members, states of ASEAN. We have 7 others, 8 now with the new East Timor. They need to speak up. A peaceful region is crucial for everyone.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. But Virak Ou from Future Forum, we very much appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
They promised glory. They delivered fear. They shaped nations. They scarred generations. From brutal purges to propaganda machines, from stolen power to violent falls from the throne. Welcome to The Dictator, a series that strips away the myth and then exposes the men behind the tyranny. History remembers their power. Firstpost reveals their truth.